Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. Welcome back. I'm excited to be posting for the Funky Junky Boutique's Inspiration Avenue blog. So our theme was hats off to men. So I'm going to show you how I took an 8.5 by 11 inch panel that I had previously brayered with oxide distress inks and turned it into these 4 fun manly cards. So again, here is that base panel. So again, it was brayered. You can see faded jeans and stormy sky and speckled egg on there. And then I also used spray to kind of throw some faded jeans speckles on there. So right now I kind of want to have an idea of where the middle of each one of the cards is. So I went ahead and drew pencil lines to divide the panel into quarters, so I kind of know where I'm stamping to get the best bang for the buck. So again, I'm pulling out some of my favorite distress or Stampers Anonymous stamps from Tim Holtz. So again, this is the Bubbles one. Great background stamp. So again, I inked it with Hickory Smoke ink, and you can see here I'm kind of struggling with where I'm going to put it. Again, I wanted to cover a couple of the card bases at one time. So again, I stamped it again and kind of covered part of the base. Next thing I did was I kind of grabbed this globe stamp, which I thought was kind of cool, and so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in a couple of places. So again, kind of playing here. Then I grabbed, this is the Lumberjack Plaid, and that's one of my favorite background stamps. So again, it just adds texture. So again, you can see here I've stamped it several times. And then I pulled this little, it's like a corner, it looks like a corner from a dollar bill or something. And, that's out of one of course, the stamp sets. And I pulled out my Faded Jeans archival ink. This is one of the mini cubes. So again, I'm kind of using a little bit of extra color for pop in here. And again, just kind of pulled a bunch of stamps. So I will list all of the stamps I use down in the description below. So again, I'm just kind of stamping away here. I thought I'd kind of spread some blue along the perimeter here, or along the center, I should say. So again, then I've got this 15-cent stamp out here. And we're going to go ahead and use Barn Door. We're going to add some good pops of color here. So again, I'm just kind of looking for an all-over interesting texture here. And you can see in the upper right, I've already stamped one of my little men's stamps. So I pulled out the Inspector here. He's always been one of my favorites. Love this stamp set. I love the alphabet that comes with it as well. So again, just kind of stamping it up here using black archival again. And so you can see how I'm creating just the different textures here and the different depths by just using different stamp sets. Love that alphabet stamp. I just think that's so stylish. So again, you can see here I'm kind of stamping it in different areas here on my board. So I'm kind of liking that. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it into 4 panels of 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And that's what I am working with. And then I'm going to continue to add additional texture onto these card bases. So the next thing I did was I grabbed, this is the Gears stencil, number 052, and I grabbed my embossing ink and just kind of stamped over the top to get the embossing ink on the front of the card. I'm using Ranger watering can embossing powder. So again, I kind of like it because it's not silver, it's gray. And it's not too shiny or anything. So I overstamped here. So again, I grabbed a flat brush and I just brushed off the excess of the embossing powder because I wasn't happy with it. So again, grabbing my heat tool here, and we'll go ahead and heat it up and melt all of that powder. And again, this just adds an additional dimension texture, more texture to the front of this card. Again, these are going to be backgrounds, so I'm going to have like paper dolls, other stamps here in the front that, that really kind of define the cards. But the, the background, again, it's pretty busy, but it's kind of fun. So again, same thing, stamped using the watering can. I did 2 cards with this. So again, just kind of brushing off the excess. Having too much fun making these. I love playing with a variety of stamps and things. So the next one I'm moving on to is we're going to emboss the sentiment on the top of the inspector. And it says, "And so the adventure begins." So I am just using basically black pigment ink. And then I'm using clear embossing powder. And I decided to stamp it a second time just to get a little bit of dimension to it. It was just fun. I thought he turned out really well. So again, once I get him all double powdered up, we'll go ahead and use my heat tool. And you can see it's a little bit thicker, a little bit darker. So now I have my 2 little men here. And again, I ended up stamping the sentiment there in the embossing ink. And again, this is the watering can one. Be honest with you, after I got it out there, I wasn't happy with it because it didn't really pop. So I decided to grab a piece of vellum and to use, again, VersaFine ink, a black pigment ink, and then we'll go ahead and do clear embossing over it. And so I thought that really kind of made it pop. I ended up using my decal edge cutter around the perimeter to, to trim it up. And then we'll go ahead and fold it over and then add some of the smaller staples, which I thought was kind of fun. I bought the little stapler and the staples a while ago, and I haven't pulled it out a whole lot. So I'm really trying to use those staples more because I think they are kind of cool. So we're back to the inspector, and obviously, he's kind of in the ticket booth. So I decided to pull out a couple of the stamps from the ticket set, and Ticket Book is the name of it. So again, I stamped those also in the Red Barn. And so that one was done. So now I've moved on to this next one. And again, what we're going to do with this one is stamp Explore, Dream, and Discover on the front of this one. So again, it's got quite a bit of texture and things going on in the background. All I wanted to do with this was just to glue a gentleman, a paper doll gentleman here on the front. Again, I've got a huge stash of those as well, so I really need to start using them. So you're probably going to see more of those in the future. All right, last card here. I've used I've added the Sentiment Wander, and I've got these 2 little guys here that we're going to go ahead and put on there. So again, here are all 4 of my cards, and you can see how the background, the baseboard, the stamping all kind of moves together, which is what I kind of intended to get 4 fun, unique, manly cards. So again, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blogger. I'd love to count you as one of my subscriber friends on YouTube.